Howdy, gang. So back by popular demand, I've been getting messages that I'm not doing enough vlogging. So sorry, gang. It's just I've been so busy doing nothing. That's actually not true. I've been in our current lockdown situation, which is lockdown tight. Nothing's open really. You know, you're allowed to go to a supermarket, and that's about it. You know, some takeaway stuff, that's it. There's really nobody on the streets in Glasgow, which is good, because if they're going to do this, you would hope people are just going to follow it, because it's apparently what we need to do. Yeah, I managed to get out and meet friends quite a bit. Go outside for walks and just meeting up with folk. And I'm freezing. It's winter now, you know. It's not really winter. It's still autumn, I'd say. Though looking at the temperatures this week, single digits. That's Celsius style obs from my Yank friends. And single digits is 40s. So it's cold. It's cold. That's about as cold as it usually gets in Scotland. We don't get minus here that much, or below freezing 32. It doesn't usually happen very much here. So single digits during the day is pretty much winter. And this week it doesn't look like we're going to get to double digits, which is like upper 40s, lower 50s. That's not going to really happen this week. So I guess we finally are in winter, even though it's not until the 21st of December. But it's really cold outside when you meet with people. Quite often it's quite damp as well. Sometimes it's actually raining. And I've been having really bad problems with circulation in my hands, particularly my right hand. Even right now I've got pins and needles in my middle finger. Yeah, it's like I can never get my hands warm. And gloves, I don't think warm them up enough. I think you just have to stick them under your armpits. You know, that's what I've been doing. Walking down the road with my hand inside my jacket under my armpit, trying to keep my hands warm if I've got free hands. It's really, really bad. You know, I'll put a glove on if I've got to hold something in my hand, but the rest of the time it's in my pocket, clenched like this right now. Right now it's between my legs. So just trying to keep my hands warm. You could say put the heating on in the house, but I can afford heating. Really? I don't make any money. The bills are so much. I have a direct debit, but I can see that my expenditure is so much higher than what it was a year ago because I'm in the house all the fucking time and I'm cooking, which I never used to do. So, you know, because of that, like the bills are just sky high. I'm really trying to keep that down. I don't really like heat on in the house anyway. I don't like to be hot in the house. I'd rather sit under a blanket and be cozy. I don't really like heating. And in my bedroom, the central heating doesn't take anything but the chill off the air because I sit by the window. So it doesn't really work that well. Anyway, so so why pay all that money when it doesn't really do that much unless I keep it on all the time, and then, you know, my bills would be 3 times the price amount, which is, like I said, I can't afford. The numbers here in Glasgow are going way down. Strangely enough, you know, when we weren't locked down, we had 286 per 100,000 people with the virus in Glasgow. Now we have 169. So it's gone down like last 2 weeks by well over 100 people per 100,000, which is, you know, a lot. So you got to hope when the 11th of December comes, we will be opening back up, even if it's just till 6 o'clock. Probably will just be till 6 o'clock. But going to work once or twice a week for me is still better than not going to work at all. I mean, not like rolling in the dough or can plan a holiday, but I can buy beer and not really worry about it too much, which is always a blessing. I've been doing all kinds of online Black Friday purchasing and stuff. Beer, wine, meat, all kinds of things, just so it's kind of like taken care of and a good price and good quality, because if you're stuck in and you can't really do anything, it's nice to at least have good food, drink, you know. It's about the only thing I can indulge in these days. I'm not going to be taking a trip anywhere anytime soon. Thank Christ I went to Madeira, by the way. God, I can't even imagine if I hadn't done that trip, what my frame of mind would be right now. Of course, my bank balance would be better, but fuck that. You know, you only live once. So, you know, strangely enough, I love wintertime. I love autumn. It's my favorite time of the year. But because of the whole lockdown situation, I think I'm actually looking forward to spring. It's really hard to meet with people. Like I said, every time I go out, I'm freezing to death. You can only really sit outside right now. I mean, I would hope in a couple of weeks we'll be back to a point where at least we can go to a cafe during the day. But, I want to see people, and I want to, I don't mind being outside, but it's so cold and it gets dark so early. It's pitch black here at 4 o'clock in Scotland. So, and you're just cold, it gets really cold. You go meet someone trying to have a good time and you're like, oh my God, I'm frozen. I've got to go right now. It's going to take 2 hours before I can feel my hands again. So yeah, strangely enough, I am kind of looking forward to longer days and maybe it's never that warm here, but I mean, just not so Baltic, not getting soaked outside in the rain because I can't go in a building. Yeah, they still think, we're going to have like, the vaccine and all this shit, even though the British vaccine, which is where Britain spent all the money on the British one, doesn't seem to be very good for old people. It's cheap and it's easy to store, so they'll be able to sell it to all the third world places where it's warm. And they'll make lots of money, I guess, because it's always good when your government makes lots of money on a pandemic, isn't it? I mean, it's amazing how many people have really become rich over the pandemic, and the rest of us are like barely able to survive. But you got to hope if these vaccines are all going to be coming about in the next couple of months that, hopefully by the end of next year, we will not be having this conversation. God, I can't imagine what it's going to be like to go to a gig. That does look like, you would think outdoor gigs this summer will happen. I'm thinking that is a likely possibility, So if I can afford to go to them, of course. Mind you, I still have connections. You know who you are. But still, it's grim times. God, I can't ever imagine what it's going to be like to be able to go and DJ again. I would love to be able to DJ again at Pateco, miss it so much. Miss being able to just play disco and get drunk. I miss that. I really miss the life I had. I really loved my life, My friends are keeping me from cracking up, and they've been looking after me well this week. I was supposed to look after a friend yesterday, but yesterday I had been drinking quite a bit on Friday. And when I woke up and was walking around, I could barely walk up to my front door carrying beer, which is always a bad thing. I could barely lift the beer at the supermarket, the case of beer. And I felt really, really weak and really exhausted. And I started thinking, is this a hangover or is it COVID? Because, of course, as I much discussed, I know a lot of people who had COVID that really didn't think they had COVID because they thought they had a hangover. So I was like, I can't fucking believe this. Maybe I've got COVID. And I felt cold, like really cold, like was in bed under a duvet and with my head under the covers, and I was not shaking, but felt really weak. Like I said, very tired. My body was aching. All those things could be a hangover too, but I really didn't feel like I drank so much that I'd have this adverse of a reaction. All the weakness and stuff kind of made me feel a bit weird. And then I thought like my taste didn't seem as pronounced, though everybody I know who had loss of smell and taste, it's like they could put their nose in a bag full of fresh dog shit and they couldn't smell it, literally. So it was nothing like that. I would definitely have smelled fresh dog shit if it was around yesterday. So yeah, I was really, really worried about this. And I told a couple of friends and asked a couple of people I'd seen, like, are you feeling okay? And I was really worked up about it. And then the evening came and I had a couple cans of beer, and I realized I was now having the hair of the dog effect. Once I drank a couple cans of beer, I started feeling a lot more normal. And I didn't feel shaky or sick anymore. And I thought, I think this is hair of the dog. I think that's what's going on right here. I think that was a hangover. And I woke up today and I felt absolutely fine, absolutely normal. So I guess it was a hangover. But boy, did I have quite a scare, I can tell you. And I kept thinking, where the fuck would I get this COVID from, you know? Couldn't fathom it because I hadn't done anything different that I've been doing for the last 9 months and never got COVID. So, in fact, doing a lot more than I did 9 months ago when I didn't get COVID. So, anyway, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Hoping to see some friends this week and meet up with people very COVID-friendly ways. And I've still got another almost 2 full weeks of lockdown before hopefully we're back to work. And this has been quite a long vlog. So I'll leave it at that, my friends. So stay the fuck away from me. Don't touch anything. Don't touch anything. No hugging. Sorry. No. It's not going to happen. Don't touch anything. Oh, happy Thanksgiving to the people who are celebrating that. I actually had a Thanksgiving meal made for me. That was absolutely fucking amazing, by the way. Thank you. You know who you are. I don't want to name names because, you know, it's probably not as COVID friendly as you should be doing right now. Shh, don't tell Nicola. Anyway, so yeah, stay safe, stay the fuck away from me. Wash your hands, wear your mask. Yeah.